Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Thursday morning when I use vanilla beans in recipes. And what am I going to make this morning? I'm actually making a vanilla bean cookie that's rolled in vanilla bean sugar. Does it have a lot of sugar? Well, I guess it's rolled in it, so kind of. So I'm going to show you the whole process, and they are just a great cookie to make this holiday season. They will kind of remind you of a spritz cookie. There's not very many ingredients. It's very easy to do. Kids will have fun with it. You could color the sugar besides having it just the white sugar with the vanilla flavor in there. And I'm going to show you two different ways to make vanilla bean sugar. You can use it with vanilla beans or using it with vanilla extract. I'm going to show you both ways. So let's go make some cookies, and then we'll talk about it again. Here's vanilla sugar that I have mixed up with vanilla beans. And it's just a matter of you just putting your extra beans, scraping some seeds in there, and I mix it up and I just let it sit on the counter. Now, if you don't have that, just throw in a half a cup of sugar. And to that, I'm going to add a fourth of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I know it doesn't look like very much, but I'm going to put the lid on, and then I'm just going to shake it up like crazy. And all of that sugar will just barely get damp. And then it's just a matter of drying it. So I usually put it on a piece of parchment paper or some wax paper, and I just let it dry for about 4 hours. And then you have it. It's really easy. But if you just have sugar continually that you throw your extra vanilla beans into, it's great. Now, what are we going to use today? We're going to use flour. We're going to use butter. We're going to use a little bit of vanilla extract, sugar, 1 egg, 2 vanilla beans, some salt, and some baking powder. And I'm going to just show you what I do. One of the tricks that I have found is if you cream your butter and your sugar really well, your cookies are always going to be better. It works with chocolate chip. It works with any cookie you're making. So now I'm just going to put that little bit of vanilla. Broke my egg on the counter, so let's try that again. So we're going to put our egg in there, and then we're going to scrape those vanilla beans. And we're not going to put the pod in this. We're just scraping as much of the seeds out as we can. And you're always using the back of your knife because it just is much safer for you. So let's scrape all of our 2 beans, and I'm going to throw those extra beans into my sugar. And so I always have that continuous supply of vanilla sugar. So there you see all the seeds dumped in there. And then we're going to go mixing it again. Now with the egg that we added, it's very loose, but we're going to add our salt and we're going to add our baking powder. And when that's really incorporated, it should look like this. It's loose, it's light, it's very movable, and you can see all those beautiful vanilla seeds in there to give it great, great flavor. And then we're going to add the flour, and we're just adding 2 cups of flour. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make it very pliable. I can form balls with it, and that's what I want. See that thickness of it? It'll kind of remind you of pie dough. That's the kind of thickness you want. So I have my vanilla bean sugar, I have water, and I have little balls that I made of my dough. And so we're dipping it in the water, and then we're putting it in the sugar, and we're just going to make sugar go all over it. And really, for the most part, I usually just shake that. And then it's going to go over and sit on my cookie sheet. Now there we have a whole tray, 12 cookies on there. Now you can leave them just like the balls, or you can crunch them down. You can use your fingers, you could use the fork, and it takes about 10 minutes in a 375-degree oven. Now that varies on the size of the cookie that you made, but for the size that we're making right here, it took about 10 minutes for the cookies. I want the bottom to be browned, but all the white, the cookies should be really light on top. And here they are out of the oven, and the smell of vanilla is just fabulous. So here we are. with cookies, bags of cookies. Some in the freezer, some we gave away already. They're delicious. And I hope you try them this holiday season. As always, like, subscribe, share with the world. Make sure that you are getting prepared for the holiday season. Thanksgiving is around the corner. Get your supplies so that when you have time, you can make cookies and cakes and pies and everything for the holiday season to share with your family, your friends, or your neighbors, co-workers. And these are just a great cookie. You can throw a dozen of them in a bag, give them to friends. And if the kids are helping you make, you could always add a little bit of food coloring into the sugar so that they would be colored for the kids. I will see you next Thursday morning for another edition of Vanilla Bean Recipes.